What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thanks for joining. Like most of you are probably going to be new because this channel is new or fairly new. Anyway, I'm just going to jump right into this. Today, I am going to be giving my official review of Sleep Token's new album, Take Me Back to Eden. I wanted to do an official review because Take Me Back to Eden was my first full reaction on this channel, and I thought I would just give a review to go along with it. I have had about a week to listen to this. I kind of hopped on the train late because we were out of town and I didn't have time to make the video, but we're here right now. I've had a week to sit with this album and just take it all in, and I've got some notes. This album is phenomenal, throwing that out there right off the gate. However, I do have an honest review for you. And if this finds the Sleep Token community and it upsets you in any way, I'm sorry. I think this album is really great. I have never actually done an album review with like notes and things like that. But for this one, since I am filming this and I did a reaction for the album, I thought it would be fair to do a full review. And I actually thought it was fun to go in and dive deep into the pros and cons of the album. And I kind of made up a couple things. Well, one thing in particular is the disgustingness scale, which we'll get to. But yeah, it's kind of structured, and I thought it was really fun. I hope to keep this same structure in the future for new albums. This is just going to kickstart it. So we're going to hop into it. Obviously, we're going to start with the pros. My first pro on this one was the diversity of the musical composition. Obviously, that's one of the reasons why this band is so huge right now, and everybody loves them. They know how to do it all, and they know how to do it well. A lot of people attempt to do different genres in their... They have their one genre, but then they add all these other kind of genres in their songs, and most times it just doesn't work. A good example of good diversity and well-executed diversity is, in my opinion, is Falling in Reverse. Their newer stuff has been... I know he likes to get into rap a little bit, and I mean, they're doing it well, obviously. But anyway, we're talking about Sleep Token, and these guys just do literally everything. I don't know if it's we don't know their backgrounds, the musicians. I don't know who's writing the music. A lot of times it can be just one producer or the band, or they bring in different writers. No matter who is writing it, these guys are playing it, and they're doing it so well. Like I said, that is a big reason why this band is blowing up right now. You've got the base of metal, which a lot of their harder elements are metal leaning. Some could say it's just like hard rock or whatever. So rock metal, you got like R&B kind of elements in there, like pop elements, jazz elements, acoustic-y type elements, like a lot of piano, and they're doing it well, like I said, and that's very cool. And that was a pro that I had for this album because they really showed their potential. The next pro I have is execution of the writing style. Like I said with the last one, again, the way that they are writing this new stuff and the way that they execute, like you can write stuff and program stuff all you want, but when you execute it to the level that they have done, that's very unique, and not a lot of people have that skill. The way that they write, the melodies, the melodies are huge. People nowadays, I find, they love melody. I said this in, maybe it was the album reaction, but when metal like started to blow up, it was all about like chugs and like breakdowns and all this stuff. And now it's like, I want to hear that melody. Like, I want to feel something, and that's something that they do very well. The way that they write just makes you feel something. So yeah, that's that. Next pro is lyrical content. The lyrics in this album are absolutely like mind-boggling sometimes. They're not just basic lyrics, you know. I don't know if any of you have seen the TikTok of like metal lyrics are so diverse, and then the guy shows like 15 different songs where they say the exact same thing. All of the lyrics on this album, they're different and they're unique and they're new, and I appreciate the way that they dive deeper into words. It kind of goes along with the way that the song makes you feel. Eventually, if you say something so many times the same way, everybody's going to get numb to it. And I really appreciate in this album that there's unique words and unique phrases and unique, just different ways of saying things. I like how they delved into that. My next pro kind of goes along with lyrical content. It's storytelling and leaving room for imagination. The storytelling in this album is just phenomenal, and I'm not big into the lore of Sleep Token, although this past week I have been kind of researching and kind of reading up on the past on the other albums and kind of listening to the other albums and whatnot, and it seems that there's like a cycle going on right now. Like, it's kind of these now 3 albums, it's kind of been like a series. The storytelling through all of them is just incredible, and that just, you know, continues with this album. However, I did write Leaving Room for Imagination, which is something that I was doing some research earlier today, and somebody on a Reddit page, a Sleep Token Reddit page, said they leave a lot of room for imagination so that the fans can kind of fill in the gaps. That's something that's really cool in this case, that you're able to like put yourself into the music and fill in the gaps and relate to it yourself and interpret it your own way. That's really cool. My last pro kind of goes along with storytelling as well. The callbacks, I love when bands do callbacks, and it just adds another element of interpretation, and it gives the consumer it kind of sends us on like a little scavenger hunt, kind of, even though it's there, like you're seeing it all, and it's like, oh my god, you're connecting the dots. That's something that I really like about some bands. For example, Euclid, in the outro verse, that whole lyrical verse, and I think the piano melody in that is taken from The Night Does Not Belong to God, from their first album. And that was really cool. Like I said, I don't know the lore of Sleep Token, but it seems like that's just kind of like, that song was just like a closing to this series of whatever they got going on. And like, I need to do a lot more research, because yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see where they go in the future. I don't know if they're, you know, gonna do a different composition style, or maybe I know the masks changing is a big thing, and I'm already excited for new music from them. Until then, let's move on to the cons. I do have a con for this album. As much as this album is incredible and breathtaking and a masterpiece, my one con is that it is consistent, but only to a certain point. This kind of goes along with diversity of the composition, and I feel bad about it because I'm like almost saying the same thing. However, too much diversity sometimes can be a downfall, especially when you're telling a story, when you're weaving the consumer through a story, and then it kind of just like takes a hard left turn and then kind of goes back in. For example, the song Are You Really Okay? That song, I'm not saying it is a bad song at all, but it's different in terms of the music, the instrumental of it. It's a very ballady song. I don't know if it was needed sonically. Obviously, they thought so, and I'm not the writer, so who am I to judge? But I don't think that sound was really needed. Like I said, it kind of took me for a hard left turn, And then we got back into the rest of it, and I was like, oh, okay. Now the lyrics in that one, I don't have anything bad to say about that. It just stops at the music. We kind of got what we needed with like the softer elements in Do You Wish That You Love Me and Aqua Regia. But like I said, just the music, just sonically on that one, not the lyrical content. I think that's still needed for this story. And yeah, that's really my only con. It's not a bad one. I could have gone without the ballad, although I'm a metal guy, so I guess that's a given for me. So I just wanted to go through and do a couple fun things before I get to my final score. And those things are my favorite single. My favorite single off of this album was very close. I'm going to have to go with The Summoning. That one, it takes you on a ride the entire time. The melody of the chorus, the atmospheric vibes, the lyrical content in that one, and just like the heaviness, some of those heavy parts. Oh, and the vocals on that one towards the middle, right before kind of the dropout, and he just goes on that really high run. I love that. Aqua Regia was a very, very close second, which is really surprising. Like I said, I'm a metal guy, and there was no heavy parts in that song, but it was so much in the pocket and so vibey. I fell in love with that one. Next up is my favorite song from the album as a whole, and this one is kind of surprising because I don't see this one a lot as being a favorite. Just seeing around the scene. I don't see a lot of people saying this one is their favorite, which is it's okay because there's a lot of other really good songs on this album. My favorite song on this album so far is Rain, and that is because I actually didn't catch it first on the first listen through, but the chorus in this one is just so, the melody just got me, and it's almost, the lyrical content in the chorus it's almost like a worship song, which is ironic because the thing with Sleep Token is these songs are worship. I really like the irony of that, and just thinking about that deeper, the melody, it's got heavy, it's got the kind of like the rappy R&B poppy vibes in there. It's got the piano in there. I really enjoyed that song, and it might change, but that is my favorite song for now. Lastly is our disgustingness scale. Very often I find myself, when I'm listening to new music, I find myself doing the stank face. I don't know, just like and I thought it would be fun to start a disgustingness scale. I gave this album a 7 out of 10 on the disgustingness scale. Some of you are probably going to be like, why a 7? Like, this album is crazy. I thought this album was a lot of things. There were some very heavy moments, and there were some very disgusting moments. However, there was a lot more vibey moments too. I don't really have reference to go off of for this scale because it's brand new to me. And I just thought it was fun. But I gave this album a 7 out of 10. A lot of disgusting moments where you're just like, oh my God, they really just did that. But not enough to call it a 10. That leaves us with our final score. I gave this album a 9 out of 10. It is great. It is a masterpiece. It's a story. It's a very well told story. Couldn't give my first album review a 10 out of 10. Just for the simple fact that it does have one con. Anyway, I think that is a fair 9. This album is wild, and I'll be listening to it a lot more, I'm sure, when I want to go on this journey again. A lot of times I'm just like, all right, play it back. Let's do it again. And that's something that's really fun when bands can do that, when they can deliver this. Thank you guys for watching. That is my full album review for Take Me Back to Eden. It's also kind of an album of the year debate. I have my album of the year right now. However, this one comes very close, and I'm I'm starting to put them up against each other. And we'll see where it goes as I listen more and more. Maybe at the end of the year, I'll put together an album of the year video. But for now, that's what I got on this one. This one was really fun. It's my first album reaction / review. And although not many people are probably watching, I enjoyed it. I consider myself a little bit more than a consumer of music. So this was really fun to do. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment if you like what I'm doing here. Let me know what you want to see. Maybe subscribe, maybe. And I will see you in the next one.